Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with Name Brand Wigs. This is Ellen Wille Loop in the color Tobacco Rooted, and the code for that is 9.27.26. Loop is really cute, and if you had curly hair, this one really does mimic someone with super curly hair, frizz and all. If you want to know more about this curly style, then stick around. We'll talk all about it. You know, the more I look at this wig and the more I have it on my head, the more I like it. There are some challenges with it though, and I will be talking about those. Some kind of significant challenges in my opinion, but I think they can be overcome. It is really darling though, and I know many people with curly hair that looks like this. Many. So I think it's ultra realistic looking. Let's look at it from all sides. I am a huge fan of Ellen Wille wigs, and I'll tell you why. Number one, they fit me amazingly, and this one is no exception. They do run a tiny bit small most of the time, although occasionally they do run a little bigger. I think this one's running almost true to average. It is just a little bit small because I have a very small over the top of my head, but it's fitting my circumference great, and I have a 22-inch circumference, so it's not tight at all in that way. The other thing I love about Ellen Wille wigs is their fibers. They are regular synthetic, and they are so, well, they have some heat friendly, but this is regular synthetic. They are so light and airy, and they remind me of someone with a finer denier of hair, and they're so realistic. They're just light, and I mean, they really do a good job of mimicking real hair. I love Ellen Wille fibers, and I have a number of wigs by Ellen Wille, and I just love them, especially in their curly wigs. They do a really good job with their curly wigs. Look at this curl pattern. Now I know some of you, if you never had curly hair, you might be looking at this thinking, ooh, that is really messy and really frizzy. Yes, it's a messy curl pattern and there is some frizz, but I can see that that is by design. They have varied this curl pattern. It is not a uniform curl pattern. And I think that's because they were really trying to mimic people with this type of a curl pattern. Look around you. There are a lot. You can see I'm having trouble right here. This is one of the challenges I'm going to talk about. There are a lot of people out there with this kind of curly hair. It's kind of curly and frizzy and chaotic. That's this style, and it is spot on. Now, if you have never had curly hair, this might be a bit too much for you, but for someone whose hair looked like this, I can see there are some happy wig sisters out there right now. Somebody created a wig to mimic their hair. Did a really good job. Now, this piece has, I would say it's light. It's fairly light density. It's not heavy density, but there's so much curl here that it absolutely has some volume. That would be how a curly person's hair would be. I mean, it definitely has the lift of curls, but there isn't like permatease to give it a lot of volume. There's no poofy, pillowy permatease at all. It's really just this curl pattern. So I would say if you want to try a curly wig, but you've never had curly hair before, this is maybe not the wig to start with, because I think you are going to feel a little overwhelmed, and between the curl and the frizz, it just might not be something you're really used to. But I truly think this looks so realistic. Let's just talk about the problem that I'm having with it, and it's really this front here. I've seen no other reviews of this style yet, so I don't know if other people's wigs are like this, but when I look at the stock photo, I mean, they kind of have the hair in her eyes, and so I just have to believe that's how they're all going to come. This, I'm just not sure what to do with this front section. Now, it does have a lace front, a good lace front. Look at that, a good lace front. And Ellen Wille lace always shows on me. It's a little bit lighter than a lot of the other brands. If you struggle with that, I just cut it. I take a pinking shears and I trim it. And I have a video showing how to cut the lace on these wigs. So don't kind of ignore that because that's normal for me. But look at, they put all the light colors up front and you don't have dark knotting. It just looks really realistic. So until you can figure out the best way to manage the front, you can just take some clips and you can just kind of clip it up out of the way. It would be really cute that way. But I think this probably needs a little bit of trimming or thinning or something to get this front to lay, because otherwise when you just sort of sweep it to the side, it's got this one curl, which of course that may not be common in other pieces. Where the curls fall will vary, but there's just a little bit of struggle with the front. So if you buy this piece, I want you to go into it knowing that the front is like that, and just be prepared to either style it or, you know, take a thinning shears. And the more I play with it, the more it does kind of go over to the side. It doesn't keep popping down into my face. So it's really not that. It's just that I'm not really sure how it should lay. Another option would be to take steam to it and get some lift in this front here and then sort of steam it so it lifts and then sort of curves to the back. That may be another great option, but that's the one complaint I have about this one. Let's take a look at the cap. And it's not a small complaint if people aren't really used to working with wigs. I mean, it is something to consider. So here's that lace front. It is a nice, wide, deep lace front, no monofilament, no monopart. What that means, this is an interesting top though. Let me look at this for a second. Yeah, there's no monofilament. It's just a nice soft layer right here. It was kind of interesting. What that means is you get a little bit of real estate here. So kind of can mimic a little bit of a part, because when you split the hair wherever you choose to part it, you get a little bit of appearance of scalp. So that's good. It also keeps the price point down, you guys. The less cap features, the cheaper, generally. You have a tiny mono crown up here. It's really nothing for visual effect. It's more for how the hair sort of separates right at the top, trying to give it a little bit more realism. I don't know if it works or not. Ellen Wille likes to do that. Soft velvet ear tabs. I don't truly know if it's velvet, but it's nice and soft. Bendable stays, extended nape, Velcro adjusters. Their caps are awesome. I love their caps. And like I said, no poofy, pillowy permatease. I'm sure there's the tiniest bit of crimpy fibers where the hair is sewn onto the wefting, but it's not, look at, you see right down to the cap, no poofy, pillowy permatease. So if you don't like permatease, this isn't going to bother you. But it does have a lot of volume because of all this curl, which is, I don't know, you guys, I love curl. I don't know if this is a style for me or not, but I do love curl. My husband hasn't seen this yet, so we'll find out. He really likes messy curly wigs on me, so if he likes this one, it might make its way into the collection. So fit-wise, I think, like I said before, it fits pretty true to average, maybe a little bit small, only because I don't get a lot of extra cap up here, but I am getting some. Look at that. Now, it's not bulking or gapping, but that means there's some room to grow. So I want you to look at my measurements. I think, let's see the stretch. It's got really good stretch. I don't even have it cinched all the way out, you guys. It's slightly in, but not all the way out. Let me put it all the way out. And then I can give you my best guess at a prediction on who it will fit. Again, this is my prediction. It's not like fact. I would say for sure, well, I have a 22-inch circumference. So for sure 22 inches because it was cinched in a little on me. I think up to 22 and a quarter, very comfortably. 22 and a half, even potentially, because look at that stretch. So I definitely think this is running more true to average than some of their older models of wigs. And I have heard that for the American market, they've expanded the size of their cap just a little bit to fit a wider variety of people. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm passing on a rumor, and we shouldn't be spreading rumors, but I have noticed that in quite a few recent wigs. So I think this is going to fit average. I don't think you have to be average petite to wear this one. So if you've tried Ellen Wille in the past, your measurements aren't outrageously bigger than mine. Again, all of them are in the description. I think you could try it. I really do. Now, I think you can tuck. It's always tricky to tuck hair that is this curly, but you can definitely tuck it. Look how cute that looks. Clip it. I mean, seriously, headbands, bandanas. One of the things I love to do with super curly wigs is to wear like a bandana tied around and then mess the curls up around it. I think that's darling, and it's a fun way to try a curly wig if you're not sure if curls are going to work for you. All right, guys, let's talk about this color, tobacco rooted. I want more wigs in this color. I'm just going to tell you that right now. 9, 27, 26. I don't know what a 9 is. Let me grab my color index. You know what? It's probably a blend. There isn't, so for those of you who don't know, I have a color index on my website. My website is heywigsister.com. It's a blog. I do sell wigs on there occasionally because I do review a lot of wigs and I don't keep everyone that I review, so I do post wigs for sale there sometimes. But I do have a lot of really helpful blog posts, and one of my blog posts has a color index and a brand color list attached to it, so you can learn about colors. And on that color index, I list all the color codes and a bunch of information about color. So in the brunettes, you go from a 2 to a 12. Those are the number codes for all of the brunette colors. 2 is the darkest brown, 12 is the lightest brown. A 10 is kind of a medium golden brown, and a 12 is a light golden brown. An 8 is a chestnut brown, medium chestnut brown. So we've got a 9. That's not really a color. So whenever I see a color that's not on the color list, I usually assume it's some sort of a blend. So I think it's kind of a light chestnutty brown. I mean, I don't know what else to say. A medium brown. And then we've got, my brain doesn't remember numbers very well, a 27 and a 26. Again, more blends here. So a 26 is a medium golden blonde, and a 27 is a light auburn, sometimes called strawberry blonde, sometimes honey blonde. A 27 can vary quite a bit because it is one of those blend colors. So let's analyze what I see here. First of all, I think this is more of a light brown than a blonde. So there are blonde highlights. Let's see if I can pick one out for you guys. So you can see right there, there's one of those beautiful golden blonde highlights. It does have a root. Ellen Wille stopped including the root color code. I don't know what the code is, but if I had to guess, it's no darker than an 8. And it's a very small root. It's more of a shadow root than anything. It's not a long root. So I think it's actually perfect. It's kind of a shadow root. It really is perfect. And given that this doesn't have monofilament, a root will help hide any permatease that there is. And there really has to be a tiny bit of permatease because there's got to be some kind of crimpy fibers to hide where the fibers are sewn into the cap. So this is perfect in my opinion. And then you've got, it's just a very medium, almost a medium auburn. There's lots of kind of auburn tones running through it. You've got golden blonde highlights. You can kind of pick those up here in the light. And then the rest of this is like a light brownish auburn. It's a very hard color to describe. I would say it's warm. Yeah, I would say it's warm. It's a warm color. So if you like light browns and you like some highlighting, and you can do reddish tones, because auburn, obviously, reddish tones, strawberry, blonde, reddish tones, I think you should try this one. It's a beautiful color. It's dynamic, but it's not outrageous. It's not out there. It doesn't look like a fashion color. I don't think you'll draw a ton of attention to yourself with it, but it's definitely a great alternative to like just a dark blonde or a light brown. Let's get outside so you can see this color outside. I also have an out of the box for you guys. I'm doing them for Instagram now. Whenever I get a brand new wig, I immediately just film the out of the box, no matter what I look like. And so I will tack that on the end so you can see what this looked like out of the box. This is out of the box. I've done nothing to this one. except shake it out. I shook it out and I finger styled it. I didn't comb it. I didn't spray it with water. I didn't hang it upside down. I really didn't do anything. So you're getting the out of the box treatment. I do think if you want to tame a little bit of the frizz, it's really not over the top frizzy, and it doesn't look like used wig frizzy. It looks really natural curly hair frizz. I think if you wanted to tame a little bit of that, you could get yourself some like a gel type product and just kind of run your hand, put some on your hands and run your hands, coat the fibers a little bit, and that may tame it a little bit. I really don't think it looks bad though. All right, I've talked too much. Let's get outside. All right, you guys, here we are. See how it blows around in the wind. Let's get some sunlight on it. So this one right here has some golden blonde, I think. This is also playing up on sort of the curly frizzy. Get back in the shade a little bit. Wrap it up here. I'll come over here. The sun can kind of play tricks on it when it's poking through the tree. All right, everybody. Hopefully that helped you. Thanks for watching. All right, here you go with the out of the box. I love doing these out of the boxes because I love to react to the wig genuinely, and you get the genuine reaction when I've never seen it before. I also love it because it keeps me honest. You get to see what the wig looked like out of the box, and so when I do my review, you can see if there's any real major difference. I never ever try to mislead you guys though. So you can see it's a little smashed. So curly wigs will tend to have a lot of box hair. You really have to shake curly wigs out to know if they're going to work for you. There's just no two ways about that, and that can be hard because then you can't return them. I have videos on that topic though, so if you need help with that, leave it in the comments and I can point you to the videos I've made. Now that I've shaken it out, it looks a lot like the review, doesn't it? I can tell right now I'm going to have trouble with that front. A little trim though might be all it needs. Thanks for watching.